Wow. Invest in good cases.
The quiet wilderness of Alaska has always held mysteries, but nothing compares to what investigators uncovered inside Atz Kilcher's hidden barn. For years, the beloved star of Alaska, the last frontier, kept that barn locked tight, refusing to let anyone near it, not family, not friends, not even fellow homesteaders. Fans assumed it was just Atz being private, until authorities stepped inside and froze in disbelief. What they discovered shattered the clean, heroic image everyone thought they knew. This single moment exposed a darker, more shocking side of Atz's life, one that no camera ever captured. And trust me, you won't believe what was inside that to the world. Atz Kilcher was a man who conquered the harshest terrains with quiet bravery. He was the strong father who hunted, built, farmed, and fought through the brutal seasons shown on Alaska, the last frontier. People admired him as a symbol of resilience, a protector of his family, and a man who faced the wild without blinking. But behind the cameras, Atz was falling apart. His loved ones saw him isolating himself more than ever, spending long hours in his barn and pushing people away. He refused to let anyone near that barn or witness what he was doing inside. His actions eventually raised red flags and led to the investigation. That exposed the first hints of darkness, but even before the barn discovery, people sensed something was wrong. Fans began to notice that Atz wasn't the same man they once watched with admiration. In recent seasons, he appeared drained, distracted, and weighed down by emotions he tried desperately to hide. Rumors spread that his life off camera had turned into a storm of private battles, buried trauma, emotional scars, and mental anguish. A longtime viewer once said, "We saw the danger, but we never saw the warnings," a statement that perfectly captured the unraveling life of Atz Kilcher. The day that nearly claimed Atz Kilcher's life began like any other rugged Alaskan adventure. He and his close friend Mark set out to hike the wild terrain of Otter Cove, a place Atz knew like the back of his hand after decades of navigating its treacherous paths. But on this particular day, nature had different plans. As the sun dipped behind the mountains and darkness crept in faster than expected, Atz made one small, fatal misstep. In a fraction of a second, his footing slipped, his balance vanished, and he plummeted nearly 40 feet off the edge of a cliff. The impact was catastrophic. Atz hit the ground with a force that would have killed most men instantly. His body shattered like glass. His arms snapped, both ankles were crushed beyond recognition, his hips were torn apart, several ribs cracked, and one of his lungs collapsed under the pressure. He lay broken, bleeding, and unable to move. In that freezing Alaskan darkness, there was every chance this would be the end of the man fans admired from Alaska, the last frontier. But fate intervened through one critical detail: Mark's satellite phone. Without it, rescuers would never have found them in time. Mark called for emergency help, and within minutes a rescue helicopter was dispatched. When they lifted Atz from the cliffside, he clung to life by a thread. Back home, his wife Jane Kilcher received the midnight call that no spouse ever wants to hear. In that moment, her world shattered. She admitted later that the terror she felt upon hearing Atz might not survive was something she will never forget. The man who had once been the unbreakable force of the frontier was fighting his most brutal battle yet. The months that followed were filled with relentless pain and slow, agonizing recovery. Atz couldn't walk, couldn't work, couldn't hunt, and often couldn't even breathe without stabbing agony in his ribs and lungs. He went from conquering mountains to struggling just to sit up. The emotional toll hit him just as hard. Depression set in, and he hid it from everyone. He believed showing pain was weakness, so he locked his suffering deep inside, even from his family. Fans noticed his absence from Alaska, the last frontier, and his silence only fueled growing concern. In the middle of his recovery, Atz made a drastic decision. He filed a lawsuit against Otter Cove Resort, demanding $100,000 in damages. He argued that their lack of proper warning signs caused his horrific fall. The resort pushed back with equal intensity, accusing Atz of being negligent. The case exploded into public controversy, and when Atz ultimately lost, the defeat crushed him emotionally. His confidence, already fragile from the accident, took another devastating blow. But just when it seemed things couldn't get worse, another storm hit. Trying to return to filming, Atz participated in a black bear hunting trip arranged for Alaska, the last frontier. Instead of hiking into the wilderness as required by law, the production crew transported Atz and others by helicopter. A serious crime in Alaska. where helicopter-assisted hunting is strictly prohibited. A former production medic tipped off authorities, triggering a formal investigation. When state troopers reviewed the evidence, they confirmed that Atz and the crew had violated wildlife laws, launching yet another scandal at the worst possible time in Atz Kilcher's already crumbling life. The charges were serious. Atz was fined, and the production company, Wilma TV, received a massive penalty. Viewers were stunned. Their respected frontier hero now stood accused of illegal hunting practices. But the real twist came during the investigation when Atz Kilcher revealed that he didn't even want to participate in the helicopter hunt. He said he warned producers it was illegal, but they pressured him into doing it anyway. This opened a whole new discussion about the dark reality of creating a reality show and the blurred lines between authenticity and entertainment. As if Atz Kilcher's mounting legal problems weren't overwhelming enough, the chaos soon seeped into the most vulnerable part of his life, his family. The internet turned cruel, and online trolls began circulating false rumors that his son Atz Kilcher had died. For a man already struggling to regain control of his life, seeing his children dragged into baseless lies was heartbreaking. Atz had always valued family above everything, and now the very people he cherished were becoming targets of online harassment. The emotional toll was heavy. Before he could process one rumor, the public shifted their attention to his other children, Etienne and Piper, questioning their absence from the show and sparking unnecessary speculation. The pressure on the family intensified to the point of becoming unbearable. That's when Jane Kilcher finally stepped forward. Determined to protect her children, she publicly addressed the situation with raw honesty. She explained that they purposely kept Etienne and Piper off television to shield them from negativity, judgment, and the harsh toxicity of the internet. Her heartfelt message resonated deeply with fans, who praised her strength and applauded her motherly instincts. But while the public saw a brave woman defending her family, something far more painful had been unfolding behind closed doors. The marriage between Atz Kilcher and Jane Kilcher, once admired for its resilience and unity, was quietly falling apart. Viewers believed they were the perfect couple, loving, supportive, and unbreakable. Jane had stood by Atz through every dark chapter, his near-fatal injuries, his depression, and his relentless legal troubles. But the truth was far more complicated. In a deeply emotional interview, Jane revealed that Atz had been unfaithful earlier in their marriage. She described the betrayal as a cut deeper than any wound. The Alaskan wilderness could deliver a pain she carried alone for years. After 17 long years of marriage, filled with adventure, pain, triumph, and heartbreak, Atz and Jane Kilcher announced their divorce. The revelation shook fans everywhere. The couple that once inspired viewers had reached a breaking point no one saw coming. Jane made it clear that while the marriage had ended, their commitment to co-parenting and maintaining peace for their children remained strong. She turned her attention to community work in Homer, Alaska, where she embraced sustainable living and cultural preservation. Fans admired her resilience and courage, supporting her more fiercely than ever. Meanwhile, Atz withdrew from public life again. His absence from social media and the show worried fans deeply. The silence around him grew louder each day. People wondered if he was healing or if he was drowning all over again. And through all of this, the mystery of the barn still lingered. The barn he had kept locked for so long. The barn he refused to let anyone enter. The barn that triggered the first investigation. Authorities never released the full details of what they found inside, only stating that the contents were disturbing enough to spark widespread alarm. That barn became the symbol of every hidden struggle, every buried secret, and every dark corner of Atz's collapsing world. Now, as fans watch the Kilcher family from afar, they see pain, transformation, and uncertainty. The once unbreakable frontier hero has faced betrayal, injury, lawsuits, and emotional ruin. The loving couple has become two separate individuals walking their own difficult paths. And the homestead, once full of unity and resilience, now stands divided. Whether Atz Kilcher rises from the chaos or remains haunted by the secrets of that mysterious barn, only time will tell. One thing is certain, his story is far from finished. If you want the next chapter, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more shocking Alaskan revelations. Thanks for watching.